Welcome back to Corky Gachas, and in today's video I'm going to touch on a stage that haunts you guys the most after stage 835, and that is stage 9-20. Let's dive right in. So here you can see my personal progression as a free-to-play player. Free-to-play account is up to stage 9-40, which also means I passed 2 hellholes, 9-20 and 9-30. So I'll also be covering 9-30 shortly. If you guys really want it, please comment down in the comment section below, right, to let me know, and I'll release that video. And for now, our focus is on 9-20. So let's just change up the graphics a bit to let you guys see the stage a bit better like this. So now you can see the enemies we're dealing with on 9-20, namely it's the Memphi, the Chloe as a tank, right, the frontline Talia, frontline Lindsay, and also the frontline Naya. So the main focus here, right, that I want to touch on for this stage is the Lindsay as well as the Naya. So there's two things you need to take note. Lindsay is the one that pounds onto your highest attack unit, while Naya is the one that sleeps with its main skill, right? It does an AoE, so if you clump in a circle, it's going to be problematic. So what we want to deal with this stage is very simple. We need a target for the Lindsay to jump so that it doesn't die, right? And most units die, to be honest, except for one key unit, which is the Lindsay. And also, I remember I did use a assault formation because for my circumstances, I need the Lindsay to be the one to get the opponent Lindsay on it, right? So it needs to have high attack. And if I ran a unit, which I did, I ended up not having that Lindsay as the highest attack. So if this is a problem that you guys are facing, definitely change it to assault formation for ease of having the Lindsay take the aggro on the opponent Lindsay. And also, we also need our favorite VV as well. VV for haze buff. And then we have the Chloe as the tank. We also have the Talia, which also helps a lot because Talia helps to reduce the accuracy of the opponent Lindsay. So you can use it to substantiate because the days might not be enough, so you also need the Talia. And lastly, I did rented a Naya. So this is our standard 4 fairy 1 Lindsay comp. Like I mentioned, this fairy comp really works because of the 20% attack, 20% HP, and also there is the fact that the VV, Talia plus Naya makes a very insane combo. The VV helps to make the Talia use its accuracy debuff much more often, so there's a higher chance of it hitting the opponent Lindsay. So our key is to bring down the opponent's Lindsay, and once that is done, you pretty much win. And you should have enough DPS also, and that's why we ran with this combo and this formation, particularly with the Lindsay being our main tank. If you don't have Lindsay, I would suggest, of course, to run Lindsay lah. But if you don't really want to run Lindsay, you can run Talia, but you can run Jacqueline also, right? So have Jacqueline, which is over here. Jacqueline dives into the opponent's lineup, so it can go and attract the aggro on the Naya, which might help. I personally haven't tested it because you can see my Jacqueline is like at level 1. But if you are not as low level as me, and later you'll see I'm actually substantially lower level than this this lineup right here. So if you are higher level, you can tank it, then have the highest attack unit be a unit that you can really tank the whole team with, and then you shouldn't have any problems. But this is what we ran with. Now let's dive into the gameplay. So like I've mentioned, I was actually much more lower leveled, and I'm only at level 91 for most of my units except for Lindsay at 101, and the Naya that I rented is only an elite at 127. Compared to the legend that I rented for stage 835, it's much weaker. But of course, 6 extra levels does help, but I would imagine you guys would have higher level units by now, or have higher level friends that you can rent, right? So right here you can see everything is going pretty slow. Like right now it doesn't seem like it might win or might lose, right? But once the Lindsay jumps onto the back line, then it will make a very significant difference. So anything other than Lindsay tank, right, really needs to be extremely tanky, and also be the highest attack so that it can tank the opponent's Lindsay out here. See, double misses. This is very important. Once the days stacks up to 20, right, there's a high chance that you can tank anything, and it will result in miss. We tanked the Memphi LT. We tanked the we did not have the miss on the Naya LT, but it doesn't really matter as long as our Lindsay survives. It's fine. Our Talia can even go down up to this stage, and it should be fine now because our Lindsay is already on the back line, and we have all the units ganking on the opponent's Lindsay. So once it's down, pretty much the win is secured. All you need to do right now is to spam Naya LT if you're using this particular lineup. If not, you can go with either the VV LT or any kind of ulti that CCs the team is very, very good. Or even healing the team, right? I don't think this stage has a DPS problem. Once the opponent's Lindsay is down, you should pretty much be able to win. I find Chloe a lot less tanky. Like, opponent Chloe is a lot less tanky compared to opponent Claire's. Claire's are really, really annoying. I really have a hard time with Claire's, and that's why I think I struggle with stage 930 also. But I know that some people might not struggle with it. It depends on your unit composition, right? And also for people that naturally have Lindsay leveled up and actively used in your team, right? You might find this stage to be a lot easier compared to 930 as well, and that's what we are going to look at subsequently. But for this time, this you can see very straightforward, right? We still have 14 seconds left. You might think that it's quite close, but honestly, having more than 10 seconds left, it means that you have a very, very good lineup for this stage already. And that's how we managed to win this stage 920 with our Lindsay tank and also the Talia side carry, right? So these are the rewards. So that about does it for the stage review for stage 9-20. And I'll also be coming out with a walkthrough on hero difficulty, what things you can take note to really clear it very, very effectively. So definitely like and subscribe to catch it as soon as it's out. And in the meantime, if your friends are still struggling with stage 835, definitely check out this video over here. Tell them to check out this video whereby I walk through how I completed stage 835 as a free-to-play player with really, really low leveled units. This is Corky Gachas signing off.